Hi, I'm Jordan,
And I'm Hayley.
and we are counting the Omer. So, what is the Omer?
The Omer is the. Am I going to answer that
I
question?
don't know. You're the rabbinical student, so
Oh gosh. Okay.
I've counted the Omer like 5 years, and I want to know what is your thought on the Omer?
So to be entirely honest, I've actually been really bad about counting the Omer entirely, and the only reason I got into counting the Omer was your video series last year. Um, but counting the Omer starts on the second night of Passover, and it basically counts us down to Shavuot, or up to Shavuot rather, which is the harvest festival. It basically is a land-based connection when it comes to Judaism, but it is also an embodied Kabbalistic tradition, which we're going to get into as we continue this series.
So there's a lot more you can find online. Of course, we're not going to spend all the time introducing the Omer, but basically there's 49 days from the second night of Passover to Shavuot, which is when the Torah was received. The idea is in the Kabbalists that you're preparing yourself to receive the Torah again, and that you spiritually are ready. So there's maybe you've seen like this interesting looking tree, the tree of life thing with different aspects written on it. You can see these kinds of things in various cartoons or something like that. But in the Omer, we focus on the bottom 7 of them. The top 3 are just for God.
Yeah.
Apparently, humans can't attain that. And so this week, we're going to focus on the aspect of Chesed, which often gets translated to loving kindness.
Which is my favorite of the attributes, actually. Chesed.
Yeah. So every day focuses on a different aspect of love. And so today, we're focusing on Chesed of Chesed, which is just the love. Like, what is love?
What is love?
Don't
the love
hurt
of
me,
love.
baby. Don't hurt me.
Perfect. Excellent.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a few questions from Chabad.org we'll just answer to get us into this. Let's say, Hayley, what is your capacity to love another person?
Ooh, what a question. I tend to be like a really giving, loving kind of person. So I like to think that my capacity to love is very, very large. But I have realized as I've gotten older, it's really tempting for me to sort of limit that empathetic circle and just try to only focus on the people that I can immediately affect. And as I'm getting older, I'm fighting against that tendency and trying to open up my circle of empathy even more. So I guess for today, for me, like this idea of being loudly lovable and loudly loving, if that makes sense.
I like that. That makes me think of, because like little kids will run up to anyone.
Exactly.
And like love everyone, and everyone is trusting, and you have to teach them to not trust, which is kind of sad. But so, yeah, I can relate to that. Like although I've always been a more closed off I think it's a common twin thing, as I'm a twin, like to only have a few friends that you trust and to let other people in is a harder thing. Mm-hmm. But so like I think my capacity has gotten better over the years in general, but like it's still something that needs to grow, of course. Like you can't give up on, there can't be a them and an us and that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
What's another question?
I like that one. Bringing in the I-thou relationship, Martin Buber.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Well done. Day 1.
How about, do I express love only when it's comfortable?
Oh. So I've made like a really deliberate choice. I'm also a teacher, and I teach many, many students, and students are lovely. They're the most incredible thing, and I love them like so much. And whenever they make things difficult for me, whenever they're having a struggle or something, it's really tempting in that moment to get really frustrated. And so one of the things that I've tried to make sure that I verbally say is, I love you. In that moment, like, I love you. This is not how we're going to do this choice. Because I need to remind myself how much I love them. So yeah, I try to be loud about that. I try to be very open about that, and I think it's pretty easy for me to love people.
I like that there wasn't a but in there, because I hate when people are like, I love her, but she's so annoying.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah, it's both. I love you, and you can do better.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
I love you, let's make a different choice.
Yeah. What was the question again? Do I express only when it's comfortable? This is, I haven't really thought about that before. I guess it's most easy and comfortable to express love to people that I know will accept it or that I'm really familiar with. But like, if I want to, even when you want to compliment someone a stranger, sometimes I don't feel comfortable doing just that, like to be like, oh, that shirt is awesome. It's only if it's like another woman is it easier, because
Yeah.
usually they're going to take it the right way. But if it's a man, then they might become weird about it or think that I'm into them when I'm really not. I just want to compliment them or something.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, like, so yeah, it does seem easier to express love to someone that I already know. Even my sister versus my parents, it's much easier.
Yeah, I feel like that that like when it's comfortable for a lot of us, like that means different things, right? Like how comfortable is comfortable, and at what point are we at a discomfort? So it's a really tricky question.
Yeah.
But I like that, and I like that we know that about ourselves.
Let's do one more.
Yeah.
Why do I have problems with love, and what can I do about it?
Oh my gosh, I love that. Love that question.
Yeah.
I think that I struggle the most with seeing, because I know how imperfect I am, and I feel like often I might be fooling people into thinking I'm more perfect than I am, and I try really hard not to do that and be really honest about where I'm at. But I think that letting people love the parts of me that I dislike about myself, like the things that I am working on and struggling with, that's the hardest part. So that's why I have trouble with love. What was the second part of that?
Close the question.
I'm sorry.
No, what can I do about it?
Oh, what can I do about it? I guess good question. I guess just continuing to learn to love those things about myself, and recognize that if they were on somebody else, like I wouldn't have those problems with it, but just because it's me, I do have those problems. So allowing people to love me in my fullness while I love them in their fullness.
Why do I have problems with love? Well, because there's a lot of fear. Like sometimes if I am afraid that if I show love, sometimes I think that I'll get really attached to a person, and then I'm afraid that they're gonna say, that's okay, we're like hanging out too much, or we like, you got to stop asking me for things, or like you got to stop asking me to hang out, or like stop making me think. And not that I make that many things, I don't know, like like I'm like, as far as gifts for people, usually it's just like for a birthday, and it's not like you have birthdays every day, but like if I'm afraid of being too much for another person. And
that's so sad to me.
But like, because I've had people, one person in college where I was like asking, because we lived in the same apartment complex for the first time, and I was like, cool, let's like do Shabbats, let's hang out. And then at some point she told me that she was like, Jordan, I need you to stop asking me to do things. And so then I never asked her again. And it's not like we were like that great of friends to begin with, so maybe I just thought I could get to know her better, but so that didn't happen. And so I don't know, I'm like afraid of needing people too much. I guess that's really what it is, and or showing that I need them. But so like, I don't know, what can I do about it? Find the right people.
Yeah, I
mean, like, yeah, like you gotta, I mean, it is true, like pearls before swine kind of thing. Like you have to know the person, and that is that's a Musar kind of thing too. You can't treat everyone the same, even though they say treat everyone like yourself, or treat how they want to be treated. Like, people are different, and so you have to pay attention. Okay, this person needs their alone time or something like that, and you gotta like really know that person. So that's important, and that's another way to love them. Now you know them better, and they need, I don't know,
maybe they need space, or they need
whatever.
This. But I love this. I like the idea of, like, you know, the phrase like, if I'm too much, go find less. Letting people find you to be too much, and just they can find less, and you be with the people who like get it and are,
that's true,
like understand it.
Yeah, that's how I feel about if I could go back in time and tell my middle school self, like, what I would tell her is just like, hang on, you'll find your people. They're not here because it's so small, your little middle school world. You're gonna find them, the other people that are like you. Just one day, just wait to grow up, and don't like hold on to hope. You know, you'll do it. So I think that's it for today. So
yeah,
day one
of the Omer.
Chesed of Chesed. Think about love. We love you.
Let's talk about love. That's our little outro music.
Yeah. Goodbye. Thank you.